Alright, so I kind of started without you on this one, but we're going to make a sleeper build, so I had to order a B450 motherboard. Well, I didn't have to order a B450, that's what I ordered, because I have plenty of Ryzen. This one in this case is a 3200G, it's got its own graphics, but we are probably going to add a graphics card to it. Now, we're just doing a basic test setup here. I want to make sure the motherboard works. I know it's a good CPU, and we're going to test that out first before we get started on our build. So, yeah, hang with me. Oh, yeah, by the way, I've already got a cooler that is in great shape, never even been used, and it was actually for a 5600G, so it's a little bit more than this 3200G needs, but that's okay. That's what we're going to make work. And yes, I'm sure some little bit more eagle-eyed people will realize it's a gigabyte board, and I've got it sitting on top of an Asus box, but that's okay. I needed a platform, and I bought the board on eBay, and so yeah, the best platform to put a motherboard on is actually another motherboard case. They work out pretty well. They're a good height, and yeah, let's just say it's not gonna cause any harm, right? Alrighty, so I got a post. She's running. Good stuff so far. I can let this eBay seller know that I'm very happy with the product, and we can move on to the next thing. We're going to, next, this thing will end up having to go into a case, and, well, we got to configure a few things. I'm going to leave the CPU in this motherboard as I build it, so we'll go ahead and set up a couple things right now, like in the BIOS, but other than that, yeah, this thing's good to go. I can leave a favorable review on eBay, and we can get to the next phase of our project. And would you look at that? Everything is already fairly well current, even set up for the correct time and everything. So somebody took the care of making sure this was right before it was ever packaged up and sold. So this was one of the yard sale finds, and yeah, it's falling apart. It's busted. It got dropped on the corner right here, and I don't know if I can repair this corner, but I did use some black gaffing tape on it, gaffer's tape, like duct tape. So we were able to get this to run, and it's only got, the poor thing's only got like a 2-core Celeron in it, and not much of, it's still got old SATA cables and Molex connectors, and we're going to use this case for something better. I believe we can salvage this case and make it look pretty decent. We're going to have to do some things about these drives here. One of them, I mean, this might work okay. This one is busted, the front panel's busted off of it. We have to do something. I mean, it's got a couple of hidden features, like the audio's down here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, maybe we can do something with this. We want to turn this into a sleeper, and my nephew needs a computer. So yeah, I think that's the way we're going with this. Now, one of the really cool things about some of these older cases, I mean, older, like way back 2008 or whatever, is that motherboard is a standard size. So this MATX motherboard, the B450, fits right in here. I mean, I could even use the I/O shield and everything. And I don't know if I'm going to try to use that power supply. It seemed to be in good shape when I was using it, but it's got a bunch of Molex and only has one SATA. So I'll probably swap that out. But, I mean, everything else fits in here. So we just have to do a little bit of refashioning, refitting. Obviously, we can't use the old disk drive or anything because it had an IDE connector instead of SATA. But, yeah, the rest of it, we can still make this where it looks like a sleeper, but runs like a much better computer. So with the front panel taken off and the new motherboard installed, like I said, it is an MATX, so we can make use of some existing parts and some standard parts. Make use of some older parts like a DVD writer. I don't know what games he might still have that are on disc, so that might not be a bad idea. A couple parts from Amazon. We're going to put all these back together, connect all these up. We are going to reuse this power supply for the time being. We might change that. Chances are pretty good that I will change that, but I did put SATA adapter, Molex to SATA adapter on one, and so we're going to put this back together, connect everything up, and see if we can get it to run, and then do a couple of benchmark tests before we turn it over to them. I'll also tell you I had to make a little bit of a drilling adjustment in this plastic case here. Yeah, this thing is coming in more handy than I thought. Again, I'll leave a link down. It's a cool gadget, the X-Cool precision screwdriver set, also drill bits. Yeah, it just got me an extra hole there, really, really easy, and I get to continue. So here we go. Okay, working on some more of the upgrades here. You might not see this Aris Game 650 watt as much of an upgrade, but it's been pretty solid for me in another build. So we're going to go ahead and put it in this one. I have bought another power supply for that other build because it's getting an upgrade. So, or a bit of an upgrade, but not yet. Anyway, 650 watts ought to be fine. And the XOC 512 gig G300. It's PCIe 3, which is fine for this because, well, that's what this CPU is right now. We got 16 gig of memory in here. I don't remember what it's operating at. It might be 2667. We might swap that out later. But the NVMe drive is going to go right down in here to save on some space. We're going to tuck these cables away. We will put a video card in. But first, I want to get the guts of it in to make sure it's running. So that's what we're doing right now. This is beginning to look a little bit like, yeah, not too bad here. Now, I did manage to clean this up a little bit, but then I realized that the only video I shot of that before I did what I did with it was, yeah, when I was doing some testing on some other stuff, and I didn't do a very good job of it. I did do before, after I put everything back together, before I actually cleaned it up, sitting here, and it doesn't look too bad. Now, it does look a little bit better now. But it's not in my possession anymore, because if my nephew is watching this, it's actually sitting in the guest bedroom on the little stand there to the left of the desk, and we'll find out if he gets it if he sees this and I go back next time and it's not there and he's in possession of it, and we'll find out that way. By the way, the keyboard is also yours, Daniel, and you can use that monitor that's sitting next to it. I'm just saying. So we'll see if you see this video. In any case, we did clean it up pretty well. The temperatures are great on this thing. It surprised me. The performance, it's got an RX 580 2048, which is basically an RX 570. More than capable GPU, especially right now. It's going to run most of the games that he plays and some games that he might not be playing right now at pretty decent. You'll be able to use 1080p without much of a problem at all. That monitor that I'm also turning over is 1080p. We'll upgrade as we go, but for the time being, he said he wanted something that was a little bit of a sleeper type build. We didn't get the RGB in it though, so sorry about that. We'll work on that later. In any case, this turned out being pretty decent, and what I will do as far as the numbers, I just ran some quick numbers of the processor itself with the onboard graphics and with the video card in it, the RX 580. I'll put those up there, the same order I always do. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Borderlands 3, that's in DX12, Cyberpunk, and we'll do CS2 as well. You'll notice that with the video card in it, it should not be any great surprise. The performance is about 3 or 4 times in most cases. It's about 3 or 4 times what it was with just the onboard graphics. So it's a pretty good improvement, and I think it's going to be something that we can at least build off of and create something out of it. If nothing else, it's a solid PC for him to start using. And I think getting him back into gaming or getting him back into whatever he needs to do, this will be a good start for him. This is definitely. It surprised me how well it turned out. It should not have surprised me, but it kind of did. In the end, this cost me about $50 for the motherboard. I had the CPU, I had the memory, I already had the video card that I had bought before. I think I got that video card for like 70 or 80 bucks. I might have been closer to 80 or 90 bucks. But that was one of those Milsey remanufactured RX 580s. Worked really, really well. I mean, it held up. Still held up in 2024, so I'm thinking in 2025 it's going to hold up okay as well, and we can always upgrade it later. As well as that's an AM4 motherboard, so we can put a better processor in there. It's a B450 motherboard, so they're still putting out AM4 CPUs, so we can upgrade that anytime we need to as well. This machine has plenty of upgrade path, and if he wants to put it in a different case later, he can do that. But right now, this is a good starter machine, and it turned out pretty well. Better than like I said, better than I would have thought, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it turned out. I hope he is too. But anyway, if you got anything out of this or you found it entertaining or whatever the case may be, go ahead and throw a like on the video. If we're taking bets whether he sees this video or not, notices that computer's his, and it's going to still be in the guest bedroom by the time I go back to visit the pugs next a couple weeks. Yeah, put whether you think he will or not, yes or no, and put that in the comments. Don't click up or click down. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up on the video, but just tell me in the comments whether you think he'll notice or not. He hasn't noticed too many videos yet, so I'm betting, unless I say something, he's not going to notice. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you got anything out of the video, found it entertaining, or anything of that nature, go ahead and throw a like on the video if you don't mind. If you're not already subscribed, please do. YouTube's doing that weird thing where the video will get lots of views, but the subscribers won't change, so I don't know quite what's going on there. Either nobody's hitting the subscribe button, or YouTube's playing games. And I kind of think YouTube's playing games again, but that's okay. Here nor there, whatever. If you're not already subscribed, please do, or check to make sure if you were subscribed that you still are. Don't forget to visit the rest of the socials, including our Discord channel, which we're trying to grow a little bit of a community, totally free. There's a link down there as well. And yeah, if you don't do any of those things, if you don't like, subscribe, let me know if you think Daniel will find the PC or not, or hit any of the rest of the socials. Just do me one favor, and that's be good to each other. Be kind. Smile, wave, hold the door open. Say good morning, good evening, something. Just something nice, something kind. It doesn't cost anything at all to be good to each other. And yeah, it'd probably make you feel a little bit better, and I'm sure it'd make whoever you were directing that toward feel better too. So until next time, when I get myself into something I got no business getting into, like that PC right there, the one sitting right there, that video card right there, all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, that's all I got for right now. So you guys take care, and I'll see you later.